And we continue now. This is audio number 10. This is Act 5. We took a closer reading at scene 1. Now the summary, and then we take a closer look at scene 5. And then we end the play. So when last we saw Lady Macbeth, she was sleepwalking and haunted and remembering murders, mentioning Banquo and the murder of the king. The story continues. 4 lords of Scotland, Lennox, Menteith, Angus, and Caithness, resolved to join Malcolm and the English forces who have by now marched into Scotland and are encamped at Birnam Wood, not far from Macbeth's stronghold at Dunsinane. Okay, so other thanes, Scottish thanes, have joined Malcolm, the legal heir who had run away to England for his own safety. Macduff has joined him, and now more thanes have joined him. Plus, Edward the Confessor, the King of England, has offered English forces. Again, that would be very explainable. A king would want to make sure there's no precedent set where a warrior kills his king and nothing's done about it. Because if it takes place in Scotland, it can take place in England. So in this case, the different regions have to stand up for each other and defend this culture, this Anglo-Saxon culture. Macbeth dismisses reports of invasion by trusting to the prophecies of the apparitions. Again, he had gone back to the witches who said, be careful of Macduff. No man born of woman can hurt you, and you're not going to be conquered until Birnam Wood literally moves up towards your castle. So he's not really worried about the reports of invasion by trusting to the prophecies of the apparitions, which seem to promise him invincibility in battle. When a servant enters to announce the approach of a huge army, Macbeth appears momentarily to lose courage, and then angrily spurns his servant and orders his armor to be put on. The doctor, whose news concerning Lady Macbeth is just as grim, is treated with similar contempt. Macbeth won't listen to anyone. The English and rebel Scottish armies, under the leadership of Malcolm, meet at Birnam Wood. With military foresight, Malcolm orders each soldier to cut a branch and carry it in front of him as camouflage to shadow the numbers of our host. That is, to conceal the actual size of the advancing army. Now fully armed, Macbeth confidently turns all his scorn on the advancing armies, only to find his brave rhetoric interrupted by an offstage shriek. 2 things here. Macbeth, who fears nothing and fears not the army, doesn't seem to notice that the branches are camouflaging them. So what's happening? What are the troops doing? They are moving Birnam Wood to the castle. The forest is moving. The branches are cut to hide the size of the army, and Birnam Wood is advancing on the castle. And then we have an offstage shriek. Again, most of the murders here, I'm trying to think all of them. I just always hate saying all because there are always exceptions. Always exceptions, except never. Offstage, we hear a shriek. So Act 5, Scene 5, a cry of women within. What is that noise? Now this is Satan, which I find very interesting. Satan. It's not spelled like Satan, Satan, but this is the same character that was the porter at the beginning. And again, if you're watching, which I hope you are, the Patrick Stewart version, this is a really creepy guy. He's really dark and messed up and disgusting. I mean, in the beginning, well, he's just disgusting. I mean, we're not supposed to like him. He's supposed to be creepy. We see him again in the banquet scene in that version of the movie, and he is playing the part of seemingly someone else, not the porter. But now he's back as a servant, and his name is Satan. It is the cry of women, my good Lord. And he exits. I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life were in it. I have supped full with horrors, direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts. I have supped full with horrors, semicolon. Direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once start me. Re-enter Satan. Wherefore was that cry? Before I go farther, he's almost forgotten what fear tastes like. Think of him at the beginning. I mean, we have him in the battle, but then we have him with Lady Macbeth throughout, needing a spur because he has no ambition on his own. He's perfectly happy with what King Duncan has given him. And now, at the end of the play, he's forgot the taste of fears. There was a time that if he had heard a night shriek, it would have sent shivers down his spine, and his hair would have raised up on end. It would have given him the creeps. It would have shocked him. It would have upset him. He would have reacted to it. But now, he has consumed enough horrors that nothing can startle him. Nothing can shock him anymore. Nothing can make him afraid, which is very dangerous. Fear is fear for a purpose. Wherefore was that cry? Satan, the queen, my lord, is dead. She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Life means what? What is life? Life means nothing. She shouldn't have died now. This isn't right. It should have been later. And then he starts talking about time. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Always the tomorrow creeps in this petty pace. Day goes by, day goes by, day goes by, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Nothing we've done in the past matters. We all die. Life is a brief candle. It will be snuffed out. Life's but a walking shadow, not the thing of substance. Dark. Candle brings light, and it's gone. Life is gone. A shadow is life now, and it is dark. It's a shadow that's a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage as though he's an actor. We live, and we strut about, and we walk about, and we act, and we do these things, and then we die. We go away. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Life is meaningless. What has he lost at this point? Think about what he has lost. He's lost his dignity. He's lost his reputation. He's lost the favor of those that he's supposed to be the king of. He's lost his wife. He's lost himself since the beginning. Since we saw him in the beginning, he has lost who he is. He has lost himself. I'm going to stop there just because I'm not sure of the time and I have a 15-minute limit on YouTube and I don't want to rush through the very end. I hate rushing through the end. So I guess I will have an audio number 10 part 2. I'll be with you in a moment.